Hello everyone and welcome. I'm your host, Joseph J. McAllister, welcoming you to another exciting edition of Midnight at the Cemetery, the show that delves into mysteries, UFOs, poltergeists, vampires, serial killers, psychic phenomenon, macabre history, and more. Tonight we're broadcasting live from Lake Elsinore Naval Academy, where we have beautiful lakeside views of boats and jet skis gliding across the water. So sit back and relax, dim the lanterns, put the horses in the stable, and make yourself a hot cup of apple cider, for we are going on a strange and delightful journey into the supernatural. And now we're going to talk a little bit about Elsie, the Lake Elsinore monster. You might be surprised to learn that Lake Elsinore has its own cryptid, Lake Elsinore monster Elsie, that might live within its depths. And here's a list of some of the sightings. In 1884, an enormous sea serpent was spotted at the lake. In 1934, there was a sighting by C.B. Greenstreet. Fast, 100-foot creature with 30-foot long tail. It was the sighting that gave the monster two names, Elsie and Hamlet, and made it famous. In 1967, a family saw a dark creature with humps. In 1970, a sighting by Bonnie Play. She saw Elsie 2 times. It's a 12-foot saurian-looking creature with humps. Sometime later, 3 park officials saw the creature swimming 50 feet away from their boat. It had 3 or 4 humps with spines. There were also a few sightings in 1992. In 1993, a man saw a 15-foot-long whale-looking creature. And in 1994, a fisherman claimed he hooked the creature. At first he thought it was a log, but as he pulled he saw an alligator-like head. The beast broke the line and swam away. The legends of Lake Elsinore vary from Satanists in the hills to the mysterious tunnels that travel under the town, to even a sighting of a stingray Mothman monster that was seen in 2000. The area called the Avenues is haunted by a ghostly lady in white. Some residents speculate that the entire town may be built on a Luiseno Indian burial ground. The Luiseno is a branch of the Payankasham Indians, who were the earliest known inhabitants in the area. The Luiseno called the lake Elsinore in Tenchvo Womona, which freely translates into hot springs by the Little Sea. And now we're going to talk a little bit about the Ortega Highway, aka the body dump. The Ortega Highway, also known as Highway 74, travels from Paris through Lake Elsinore and the Santa Ana Mountains down to San Juan Capistrano near the ocean. The road was made famous as a dumping ground for serial killers. It had 3 different serial killers hide victims along it. Randy Kraft, Patrick Kearney, aka the Trash Bag Killer, and William Bonin, aka the Freeway Killer, have all left victims behind along the Ortega Highway's curves. Bonin supposedly left 4 victims here. Some less famous murderers have also stashed bodies along the road, including 2 brothers who left the headless, handless corpse of their mother along the road at milepost 14. And if you're traveling along the road late at night, you might even see her ghost. Worse yet, you might see the apparition of a terrifying ethereal clown standing alongside the road only to disappear when you get up to him. Strange gnomes have been reported, and some strange skeletal thing climbs poles and watches cars go by. And even the Grim Reaper, standing 9 foot tall, foreboding impending death, has been witnessed on the road. The Crescent Bathhouse of 1887. The Crescent Bathhouse was built in 1887 for the sulfur water springs, which were believed to be a cure-all miracle cure at the time. In 1939, the mayor's son jumped the fence of the Crescent Bathhouse to sneak inside. He was later found drowned inside the sulfur springs of the bathhouse. In 1898, an 8-year-old girl was run over by a horse carriage. They rushed her to the nearest doctor, who was located in the building. Unfortunately, the young girl died on the table. The Ambassador Hotel. Along the main street in downtown Lake Elsinore sits the long-abandoned Ambassador Hotel. The building is over 130 years old and was built in 1888. At 4 stories, it is the largest building in Lake Elsinore. Every night around 1 a.m., a mysterious ghostly janitor on the roof looks down at passers-by.
Where are you going? Don't believe me.
Tune in to our next episode where we talk more about the history and the paranormal activity of Lake Elsinore. I'd like to thank Cryptid Wiki on fandom.com, Weird California, and their contributors for information that went into tonight's episode. Thank you for tuning in to this week's edition of Midnight at the Cemetery. And remember to hit that subscribe button so we know we're not preaching to an empty burial ground. Until next time, this is your host, Joseph J. McAllister, reminding you, try to enjoy the light. Music featured on today's show is Dance of the U-Boats by Akash Gandhi and Bellissimo by Doug Maxwell.